The Digital Millennium Copyright Act is a famous, or maybe I should say an infamous piece of legislation. It's really the same piece of legislation that's been behind the entire Napster and illegal downloading and BitTorrent and LimeWire, Morpheus, Napster, etc. Whole fiasco. It's all about copyright protection. It's all about intellectual property, and it's specifically the battle, seemingly, between mainstream media, between the content creators, Hollywood, the music labels, etc., and people like you and me, content creators of a different kind. Well, there was a piece of news recently, and it didn't get the attention maybe that it should have received. Basically, a judge ruled in favor of YouTube against Viacom in a $1 billion lawsuit. The judge basically declared or decreed the fact that YouTube wasn't, in fact, infringing on copyright. Now, if you take a step back, the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, initially it was also created to protect the likes of the AOLs, the ISPs of the world, the dumb pipes, if you will, the suppliers of the actual ability to access the internet, to protect them because they weren't really responsible for any copyright infringement. And now the judge is almost giving the same protection to Google and YouTube, but it's really Google, isn't it, at the end of the day? I think it's fascinating. I'm not going to be the guy that absolutely says, down with mainstream media and down with the content creators, or at least the formal corporations that are behind it, the Viacoms of the world, in favor of the little guy, the David versus Goliath. I'm not going to do that blindly, but I do think it's a good judgment at the end of the day. I think even though Google and YouTube executives, clearly they know what's going on. Clearly they know that people like you and I might rip a commercial or spoof a commercial or take a clip, 15 seconds of really funny copy from a Saturday Night Live or David Letterman or whatever the case may be, maybe riff it, maybe mash it up a little bit and put it on YouTube. Of course we're aware of that. But at the same time, this is the way of the new world. Yes, Viacom will appeal. Yes, this is not going to go away tomorrow. But at the same time, it's definitely a landmark decision and a stake in the ground in terms of recognizing that the world has changed, the world is forever changed, and it will never return to the way that it used to be. At Jaffe Juice on Twitter, jaffe@powered.com.